QMJHL fans, welcome back for another edition of our Facebook Live conversations. Today's guest is a familiar face to people out in the Maritimes. We have Alexandre Doucet from the Halifax Mooseheads. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thanks to you.
So obviously with a Quebec-born name like that, Alexandre Doucet, do you get called Alex, Alexander, Alexandre Doucet, Doucet? What do the guys call you? You have a nickname out there?
I don't really mind whatever, but the boys usually call me Deuce. Since I'm young, it's Do when I was a bit younger, but since I'm older, it's always been Deuce with my friends and the coaches.
Throw up the deuce.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Now we got the nickname out of the way with Deuce. What about the jersey number? I realized before you got traded to Halifax and Val-d'Or, you were wearing number 47, and then you made a switch to 34. Now, the typical hockey fan would say those are training camp numbers, but what's the reasoning behind your selection there?
But when I was midget, I was with the 47, and I took that number because I was a big fan of Radulov when he was playing with the Montreal. Okay. So I keep it in my junior career with Val-d'Or, but I had to change because it's already retired with Halifax. So I took 34. Halifax asked me like a couple numbers I want. I told them like three numbers, and they took the 34. And I really like Matthews, so it's for that.
I was gonna say, what's the reasoning behind 34? It has to be Matthews.
Yeah, it has.
Hey, from goal scorer to goal scorer, good choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was reading your profile online. You were born and raised in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Is that right?
Yeah, always been there.
So were you a QMJHL fan growing up? Were you a fan of the Phoenix at all?
Yeah, since I don't know when they started, probably 2012 maybe. So
10-ish, something like that.
So yeah, since there, I was a big fan of Sherbrooke Phoenix growing up. Always like probably 5-6 times per year I was going to see them. So yeah.
Was there any player you remember looking up to, or one guy that stood out that you're trying to base your game off of?
Not really. I remember Dan Odette, the first overall when they started. So it was probably the player I watched when I was younger. But honestly, every year there's not really a player like after Odette when he stopped. It was like only like the team.
Now going back to your draft year, when you heard your name called, I believe you were a 6th round pick from Val-d'Or. When they called you, I mean, were you at that point? Are you just expecting any team to call you and you're gonna be happy no matter what, or were you kind of fingers crossed hoping you would land in Sherbrooke?
No, not really. For sure, would have been special being a draft with Sherbrooke, but I'm not the princess. I want to decide where I go. So Val-d'Or, even if it's far, I was really happy to join him.
For sure, and I mean, I guess you work towards that goal your whole career. So at that point, it's like you made it.
It's a good organization too, Val-d'Or. So
yeah, we'll get to it. Your rookie season, basically, the first year that you played a full season, you came into the league. I have your stats in front of me here: 8 goals, 29 assists for 37 points in 62 games. So obviously, a great rookie season. What I want to know is basically when you got to Val-d'Or, who are some of the veterans that took you under their wing and sort of showed you the ropes?
Nick Ouellet was 20 years old, played on his line a couple games, and was a good vet for me. Helped me on and off the ice, and also even if James Shaw was only 18, I think he helped me too with the younger guys too. So it was probably the two older guys that helped me.
Now, as you're growing in the league and going up that learning curve, obviously you get into your sophomore season, that second season. For people who don't remember, that's 2019, 2020. So basically that's the season Val-d'Or sort of went all out and, got some big names, should I say, with Jacob Petier, Nathan Légaré, Samuel Poulin. So that's the year that they meant you guys reached the final. What I want to know is for your development, were you happy to see all those guys come in knowing that you have a chance at a championship, or are you more disappointed because you see sort of your development and your ice time go down?
No, I was happy. I'm a winner and I want to win. So for sure, I think those guys, I think it was also good for my development. I think you learn of these guys. So
yep.
I was really happy for sure.
Definitely a powerful squad. Now you're mentioning about some of the things you learned. We brought it up. You guys reached the finals. Unfortunately, took a tough loss to Victoriaville during the COVID season from an OT winner from at Expo Cash.
Yeah.
What I want to know is what are some of the things you learned in that final that you could sort of use in your future game?
Yeah, it's like even if you're the top team and everything, you can't lose. And I feel like this year we're not the favorite. Probably we're in the favorite, but we're not the favorite. But so I think we can still win. And it's the defensive side of the game is so important. The little details and then playoff change everything. So I've learned a couple of things for sure.
And now that you sort of suffered that loss and got to know what it takes to get to the final, what it takes to win a championship, is that sort of a message that you're sharing in the Halifax locker room nowadays as a veteran since you got there?
Yeah, I try to bring my leadership and my work ethic. I think I'm a player that doesn't cheat. I work hard and I do the little details. So I try to bring my work ethic and my experience to this young group.
Now that year when the FAR reached the finals, you guys were the heavy favorites. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, it would be a clean sweep in the final and all that." Now you're on another powerful team in Halifax, but on the flip side, most of the experts are saying you don't have what it takes to get to the final. How do you sort of balance that? Saying would you rather be in the top dog or the underdog?
I think underdog is. I lost being the top dog, and now I'm the underdog. I think we have a chance to win, even if, like you said, the experts don't always say we're the favorite. But I think we can. Our D squad and our goalies are underrated, so I think everything is possible with our team. We have so many talent.
For sure. And you're mentioning your D squad and the goalies and everything. I feel they're all a little underrated. Would you feel that way? Is that, because you played against Halifax at the beginning of the year. Now you get to play with them. Can you tell that, those guys are really underrated? The goalies are better than what you thought. That defense is deeper than what you thought before you got there?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I think our D are young, so no, they're not really like no in the league, but they're doing a good job. They're good both side of the ice. They can join the rush and they can block some shot hit. And their goalie, think we have a good two good goalie. I think Roos right now is our first goalie, and he's doing a hell of a job right now. We're lucky to have them.
Definitely. Now, enough with the losing talk. I mean, you're also, you said mentioned you love winning. You're born a winner. You won at the U18 AAA level before making it to the Q. On that team were a lot of names. I know you can rattle off a few off the top of my head. I know there's Justin Robida, there was Isaac Beliveau. There's a bunch of guys across the league that play with you on that team. Now, what I want to know is that you guys won the championship in the Quebec League, got to the TELUS Cup, which was the biggest tournament you could play in Canada at that age level. What are some of the elements that you learned from winning, basically that you sort of apply to your game nowadays?
Yeah, for sure. I think we won. We had a nice chemistry. I think everybody was pushing the same way, and we were built from our goalie to our D, and we had good forwards too. But I think our strength was our defensive side of the game. So I think that's really important. More and more you're going far in playoff. It's little details and it's your defensive side of the game that will make you win some big games at the end.
And it's pretty interesting. You should mention that because you played on the FAR team that was so powerful offensively. Halifax this year seems pretty unstoppable offensively. So is that the message that you're relaying across the room that guys, you got to focus on the little details about, the
Yeah,
effort, getting on the both sides of the puck?
yeah, for sure. And I think everybody knows it too in the team. I think we try to improve our little details and all the defensive aspect of our game to because we know when playoffs gonna be tighter. So I think we know it, and we're working on that right now.
So we have a fan online, Jason Matheson, is saying that, Doucet was an added leadership and scoring to the Mooseheads team there. What I want to know is, I mean, the scoring side is pretty obvious just from the stat sheet, but what about leadership? What are some of the things you feel you bring to that group?
Yeah, I think it's important to have good leaders that bring work ethic and everything in a team. And I think I I'm a good leader on the ice. I think I do all details and I work hard. And I think we have also a lot of other leaders in our team, and we're lucky for that.
What type of leader would you say that you are? Are you more vocal? Or are you more the guy who preaches by example? What type of leader would you say you are?
I'm more by my example. I feel I can talk, but not that much. I rather like work hard and show all the little details on the ice and off the ice too.
You seem to be the guy who likes to keep it light, a little fun, not too much pressure on yourself. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely, definitely for sure. Now, obviously, I was gonna say you're a 20-year-old, but you're 21 now. Sorry for your
Yeah,
happy belated. You were born in January.
yeah,
Um, hey, you turned blue there.
yeah.
So, being in your
That's
final
all.
season, being in your final season in the queue, were you sort of expecting a trade? Did you request a trade? Was it something that you never saw coming? How did that all go down from your transition from Val-d'Or to Halifax?
Uh, I was a little bit expecting a trade. I talked to my agent and I like tell I wanna win for my last year. I think that's what was my goal. And
Mhm.
but I didn't really know I was gonna go at Halifax like till the morning of the trade when my GM called me. But I was really happy to be traded in the winning team, even if I was really well treated in the Val-d'Or.
For sure. And I was going to say, you must have had some close bonds on that team being there for the 4 previous years. I mean, for sure, it must be tough to lose some of those close friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. I had a lot of close friends there. I had awesome billets too. The staff and all the organization was really nice to me for all my years. So for sure, I was a little bit sad leaving Val-d'Or, but I think it was for the best of my future and my career.
And obviously, landing in Halifax, it helps when you can put up points immediately, start scoring goals and all that. But sometimes it's a little tougher in the room. Did you have anyone in that locker room that you knew ahead of time? Or did you have friends on the team, people that sort of welcomed you with open arms?
Uh, Before going in Halifax, I knew no one like
Okay.
personally. I've played against a couple guys like Zach Leroy, those guys when I was a midget and younger, but I had no friends before coming. But the boys welcomed me with the open arms, and they're all nice guys, so it was easy to adapt myself here.
And obviously, I said you put up points personally the minute you got there, but the team started winning. I think you started off with something like a over 20 games of undefeated streak. I mean, did you feel like you were sort of a lucky charm for the boys?
Yeah, a little bit. I think with Josh too, we were the two guys that they had during the Christmas break and a little bit before for Josh. So I think we are two old guys that help the team all out right now, and I think not a lucky charm, but we help for sure.
And you mentioned earlier when we were talking about your draft that when you landed in Val-d'Or, you weren't mad about it because obviously it's a market. They treat their players well and all that.
Yeah.
Halifax is also known obviously for treating its players well. What are some of the similarities between both organizations that you sort of noticed right off the bat when you landed in Halifax?
I think both organizations are really close of their players. They treat them well. Even if Valdor is a smaller town and everything, I feel the fan all the fans they have they're crazy and they like hockey. And here too there's more fans because it's way bigger, but I feel they have the same passion in both town.
Yeah, obviously you get more fans at the rink because it's a bigger town for sure, but the passion I guess is pretty equivalent there.
Yeah, exact. Valdor, it's not always big crowd. It's like 1,000, 2,000 probably average, but when it's stacked in Valdor and there's a lot of fans, I feel it's really fun to play in Valdor.
What would you say is the thing you missed the most about Val-d'Or since you left?
I think it's like off the ice, all the boys, my billet, and when we were winning and those things, seeing the fans when they were on, really appreciate our works and everything. It was really nice.
And I'm guessing being there for 4 years or 4.5 years in your case, pretty much, you develop some relationships across the community as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think our team was really close of the fan. Tried to do a lot of activity off the ice. So for sure. I met a lot of person off the ice, a lot of fans, and they were all nice people. So for sure, I've met a lot, and I miss them.
For sure. And now that you sort of told us what you missed the most about Val-d'Or, being the fans and the boys and all that, what do you like the most about Halifax?
I think it's it's a pro market. I feel there's a lot of fans. I really appreciate my time right now here. There's when you play a game against 10K person. I feel it's really fun, and there's a lot of noise during those games. So I really like it.
Did you stick around during the holiday period for the World Juniors? Did you get to live that a little?
Yeah, a little bit. The team like bought some tickets for the Switzerland against the Czech game, the semifinal. So I've went during this game, but after that, the tickets were getting a lot of expensive, so
Yeah.
I stopped going here.
For sure. And for people who don't know, basically you got to get to the Switzerland and Czech game because your teammates were playing.
Yeah, exactly. Tilio was the captain of Switzerland, so that's why. But and Czech was Moravec too, so we had both guys were on the
Were you
ice at the same time.
were you torn down the middle, or were you rooting for more for one team than the other, or no? You
Maybe
it was Canada.
Switzerland. They were underdog, and I had
Okay.
Louis Robin from Val-d'Or too, so probably more for Switzerland.
There you go. Hopefully David's not watching right now.
Yeah, hope not.
um, I want to know, obviously, you said you didn't know anyone in Halifax when you got to that locker room. Do you feel the minute you walked into that locker room, you could feel that, that whole team is more like a family? They're a tight-knit group. I mean, what are some of the elements that sort of helped you join that group and integrate the whole team?
Yeah, for sure. I think the boys are sticking together. Everybody looks like friends, so it helps a lot. And I think I fit in the group pretty well in day one.
So I was mentioning earlier in your rookie season, you finished with 8 goals, 29 assists, which what I would say considers you as more of a passer. Before leaving Val-d'Or, you were up to 27 tucks in 34 games. You've added another 18 and 24 with Halifax, so you're a legit sniper. You're the first guy in the CHL to reach 40 goals. I mean, the only guy who had more goals than you pretty much all season was Connor Bedard, and you're actually right now the top scorer in our league. Would you say that you've grown into more of a sniper than a passer?
Um, I think I'm doing both like right now, but when I was midget, I was maybe more a goal scorer, and the year after when I went in the queue, I was more a passer. I feel it's going with my confidence. When I'm more confident, I shoot more the puck, and I try to like bring more pucks to the net. When I'm new and everything, I try maybe to do a little bit too many passes. So maybe in Val-d'Or, I was young and was playing with a lot of vets like Willett that was a goal scorer. So I tried to pass him the puck a lot. But right now, I'm doing both equally. I think.
And you were mentioning you take pride in your defensive game. I've seen you scored a shorthanded goal in Halifax. You had 7 with Val-d'Or before you left. I mean, is that something you take pride in, scoring shorties and excelling on the kill?
Yeah, for sure. I think my first mindset on the penalty kill is to kill the penalty, to play, to cut the lanes, block some shots and everything. But I feel with Val-d'Or and here with Josh, we have a good chemistry too. To like see the little space on the ice, do some breakaways, some two against one. So I really enjoy playing on the PK. I feel there's more space on the ice to create chances.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel when you get the control of the puck, as long as you keep it, no one takes it away from you. You're doing fine, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how
If
it
you
works.
if you get to put it in the net, it's even better.
Yeah.
I remember myself playing in my playing days when I would my team would get a penalty, I'd get excited because I was on the kills. I'm like, hey, I'm not supposed to be excited because we're going to be killing a penalty here, but at least you get to jump on and show what you got.
No, exactly. It's really, I really like it.
Now, what about you? You keep mentioning, I know Josh Lawrence is a big name, a great passer. He had over 100 assists just last year. What can you say about the chemistry that you sort of developed with the boys there? The minute you got there, I feel like you quickly gelled with your line mates.
Yeah. I think all the boys are good. They work hard and they're all good playmakers and they can score. So it's easy to play with those guys. And I think I'm also a guy that it's easy to play with. I work hard and I pass the puck I have to, and I can score when I have to. When I play pretty well in my defensive zone too. So I think that's how it fits pretty well for me and for the other boys.
For sure. Now, we've got about 10 games to go. You're sitting at 45 goals right now. I mean, is 50 in the back of your mind at all? Is that a goal you set for yourself, or you're just taking it as they come?
No, it's not a goal, but I feel getting closer. You think about it a little bit more, but I feel if I don't reach it, I won't be mad. But if I reach it, I'll be really proud. I think it's a big mark for a junior player,
Yeah.
but it's not my main like point that I focus on. It's to if it's a score goals on my team, I'll do it. If it's to block some shot and to do a good PK kill, I'll do it too. So yeah.
What about winning the scoring title? Obviously, you said 50 goals is not a goal you set for yourself, but I mean, if you were to win a scoring title, what would that mean to you?
All right. Well, I will be really happy for sure, but I rather like won the President Cup, the Mem Cup, than winning an individual title. I want to win the cup, and I don't winning individual doesn't bring the cup. So I will be
Well,
happy, but that's not my main goal.
I was gonna say, I mean, most guys are pretty humble in the queue when it comes to talking about themselves. But I mean, man, you're a sixth round pick, 93rd overall in the queue that would end up winning a scoring title. That's a pretty crazy development story.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think I've been drafted not early, so it's really fun. I think it's being drafted late. It's motivation. You work harder than the others. Maybe I think it's gonna be easy. So since I'm young, I always need to prove myself more than the others. Maybe since I'm in the league, so for sure it will. If I win this title, I think it's good for the guys that are not that good when they're 15 or 16. They're drafted later. So yeah.
For sure. Now, obviously, being a 50 goal scorer in the queue would also put your name on the map, considering the fact that you're a free agent, never been drafted in the NHL. I mean, are you getting phone calls right now, or is there talks going on with between you, your agent, and some pro teams? Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, for sure. I have a couple team that are interested by me right now, but nothing is done right now. So just gotta keep working.
But a lot, I know I've seen it develop in for other players that way, but when you get drafted in the NHL, you're stuck, in one system belonging to one team. You being a free agent sort of get to choose your future, get to choose which organization you can join. Do you feel like you're sort of lucky going undrafted?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel for sure I would have really want to be drafted a couple years ago, but now I'm not drafted, and I can choose a little bit the team that between the team that wants me, but I can choose like the team that I feel like I fit the most in it.
Are guys doing sales pitches in the room? You got Jordan trying to get you to sign with Columbus, or Zach with Nashville, something like that?
No, 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 no,
Nothing like that.
no, no.
Awesome, awesome. So before we let you go, we got a few minutes left here. I want to talk about a special bond you have with another Q player, which is Justin Robida. I know you guys played together growing up when you were kids. Obviously, spent a lot of time together in Val d'Or, and then this year at the same trade deadline, you're off to Halifax. He's off to Quebec. What's that relation been like? I mean, are you guys challenging each other now? Are you chirping each other? Has been talks of playing against each other? I know you guys just faced off literally last week. So, how's the
Yeah,
relationship between you and Justin now?
for sure. We have a nice relationship. I think we're both from Sherbrooke, so during summer we train together. We play golf together. We do everything together during summer. So I played with him when I was PE2. I played with Magog with him. I played all my junior with Valdor. So for sure we have a nice relationship off and on the ice. I think on the ice we're pretty good together, and now we're not together for the last stretch of the season. But I'm really happy for him that he also have a chance to win the cup.
Any chirps or side bets we should know of between the both of you?
No, 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 no.
because we were mentioning earlier, you played with a lot of guys from your U18 squad that you guys won the championship with. We got Belleville and Gatineau. We've got Oliada and Nets in Sherbrooke, Robida in Quebec. So basically, pretty much every top team in the queue this year has a guy from your U18 AAA squad. I mean, so regardless, you're going to be facing off against your old mates there.
No, exactly. I feel when you have a good midget team and you win, you have good players usually. So right now we're top players in the league, and for sure when you want to win the cup, you want to have the old player that are good and that already won a couple years ago in midget. So I think I'm happy for those guys. They work hard and they're all good guys. So.
We're going to be watching closely during the playoffs to see if those little sticks start swinging and if the mouth starts going at your buddies there.
Yeah, probably.
Get in their face a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always funner when you know the guy gets a little personal and you can get under their skin a little bit more.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you gave them a little smile too. So.
There you go. So little stick taps on the pads.
Yeah.
So, Alex, that's all the time we had for you today. So I want to thank you for doing this. Obviously, you guys have a busy schedule and a busy season, but you're on a terrific roll this year. So we want to wish you the best for the rest of the way. Hopefully, things swing your way and we see you in a pro jersey as of next year.
All right. Thanks. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks. So for people watching online, Alex is going to switch to the French Facebook page and do the same interview we just had, but in French. So you can jump on that page right now if you want to keep following. So thanks again, Alex.
Thanks.